The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you the goings-on in the towns and villages that we cover. This week we'll be starting with Mike Falk in the town of Lima. Mike, go ahead and tell us what's going on there.
So, hi Chris, and thanks for having everybody again. The Livingston County would like to remind everybody to be on the lookout for the invasive species giant hogweed. Hogweed looks like Queen Anne's lace, except huge, very toxic. Don't touch it. If you ever see people removing it, they're all in full containment, bunny suits and respirators and all that. The fluid that's inside it acts like a blistering agent, and if you manage to get it on your skin, it'll bubble. If you get it in your lungs, they will fill. So if you think that you have giant hogweed spotted, give the DEC a call. It's 845-256-3111. Speaking about the upcoming eclipse, if you look up at 3:20 p.m. between August 25th and September 8th, we'll call it, the sun's going to be in about the same location as it's going to be next April for the total solar eclipse. So there is some value to scouting your eclipse location now to make sure that it's not obstructed, make sure that you don't have a lot of ambient light, street lights, etc., that are going to be ruining the viewing, and that you can actually sit comfortably in your chair and watch the sun through those nifty glasses, which we are selling at the town hall, and they've actually been selling quite well. So anytime the clerk is there, solar eclipse glasses from Livingston County are $2 a piece. Budget season ongoing, met with the accountants and finalizing up the tentative budget, and it'll be ready for the next town board meeting. And lastly, RTS is seeking public input to perhaps do some improvement in its service, change up its routes, etc. You can weigh in by going to the RTS website before September 11th and putting your opinion in about what should change, what's good, what's bad, etc. www.myrts.com. And that's all I've got, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Mike. And I will again read Rick Milne's report from the Village of Honeoye Falls and Monroe County Legislature. So Rick says, the third year of what we expect to be an annual event, the Festival at the Falls, was a huge success last weekend. Thank you to Howard Hanna Realty for that team for their efforts in putting this festival together. The vendor sections were sold out and the attendance was fantastic. We appreciate all those involved in this festival's presentation, and we hope that our residents and visitors appreciate the event as well and continue to support it. I enjoy speaking with visitors from outside of our area who really enjoyed the small town, small village atmosphere. Our Good Vibes Flowing Summer Concert Series has completed. This was another successful year. We continue to try to improve things and look forward to next season. 10 of the 11 planned events occurred, and we've had a very positive feedback on the musicians. A special thanks to all our great sponsors. Without their support, this series would not have been possible. Please support our local businesses and thank them when you visit or see their employers. They are Four Corners Optometry, Honeoye Falls Marketplace, Mitchell Joseph Insurance, Dipper Dan's Ice Cream, Math Stone, Honeoye Falls Pharmacy, Howard Hanna Realty, Salvatore's Pizza, Handtech, K&H Precision Products, Spring Water Sprouts, Colonial Liquors, Canandaigua National Bank, and McQuillan Manufacturing. The Monroe County Legislature continues to be extremely busy. Rick sits as vice chair of the Public Safety Committee and on the Ways and Means Committee via the leadership team. This past week at committee meetings, we approved a project through both Public Safety and Ways and Means to add a project entitled CDC Annex Mod B Renovation and authorize funding for the project. The project will take place at the former Monroe County Correctional Facility, which supports the Monroe County Children's Detention Center in Rush as an overflow. This project will enhance the facility and add 10 new beds with improved safety for those working at the facility and those being detained. This approval will now move to final approval by the full legislature at the September meeting. The Public Safety Committee also approved to support and enact a new local law amending Chapter 384 entitled Pawnbrokers, Secondhand Dealers, and Jewelry and Coin Exchange Dealers. The main purpose of this law is to aid in breaking the cycle of persons stealing new items from our stores and businesses, which is a huge impact to those businesses, bringing the new items to real resellers to get the cash and then purchase drugs to support their addiction. The law will include a new amendment that limits a person from bringing more than 3 of the same or like items to a shop to resell within a given year. This is specific to the same or like items that are new and in the box. Many of our resellers follow all guidelines, and this is not meant to impinge on their business. However, there are those that do not follow the guidelines for recording items and proper reporting. This law would allow for their license to be revoked and any reissue coming with conditions. This also includes internet commerce. This provides for additional tools to strive to break some of the cycles of addictions. Alrighty then. So with that, let's go over to Steve and the town of Henrietta. Steve, what's going on in Henrietta?
Hi. With regards to the question regarding start of the school year, we've been working on getting our road work finished up prior to the start of the school year, especially any roads that are anywhere near schools. There will still be some additional work continuing because we had a very aggressive road work schedule this year. But again, we should be able to get all of the construction wrapped up anywhere near a school. We've also been getting our crossing guards hired and ready for the students on the roads. For motorists, please slow down. If you see children waiting for their bus, crossing the streets, anytime a crossing guard steps into the road, or when a school bus has its lights flashing and stop sign out. The town is hosting a number of special use permit public hearings this coming week, including for another potential senior housing complex. As part of a potential incentive zoning agreement, the developer would include a couple buildings that are wired with strobes to support the deaf and hard of hearing community. As you probably know, we have a large deaf and hard of hearing population due to the presence of NTID in town. And just like the rest of us, they're getting older and many are retiring and downsizing. The summer concert that was canceled last week due to weather will be held on Friday, September 9th, with 8 days a week, a Beatles tribute band hitting the stage at 6:30 p.m. and playing till 8:30 p.m. The series is sponsored by Canandaigua National Bank, and that takes place in Veterans Memorial Park at our band pavilion. Abbott's Frozen Custard on East Henrietta Road, just east of the Dome Arena and Wegmans, had its official ribbon cutting on August 24th. This marks a return to Henrietta for Abbott's, as they used to be located on West Henrietta Road before closing that location. The town newsletter is coming out soon, which will include details about the ballot referendum that will appear on ballots this fall as to whether to spend capital funds on a spray park for the town. The spray park would be funded by a combination of capital funds, a small tax increase, and reserve funds, fund balances from previous years. So we decided to put that up as a ballot referendum instead of just a I've lost the name of the permissive referendum, instead of just a permissive referendum. So it's going to be a roughly $1 million spend. So we wanted to make sure that the residents were in favor of doing so. And then finally, as an aside, after Mr. Fox report, I will note that people of a certain age who happen to listen to Genesis way back in the 70s might remember a song called Return of the Giant Hogweed that talks about how they're going to, attack us and invade our land. So it's they are scary plants. As he said, do not touch them. If you see them, call the DEC and they will send specialists to remove them away, because they are very toxic. They're probably one of the most toxic plants around. But as an old Genesis fan, it tickles me every time I hear reports about the giant hogweed. That's
All
it.
right. Thanks, Steve, and thanks for that oldie but goodie. So let's see, John, do we have your audio working, and can you give us a report on Mendon?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I could. All right.
All right. Technical difficulties apparently have been resolved. First thing I wanted to report on was the mobile mammogram will be at the Mendon Community Center. That's at 167 North Main Street, Saturday, September 30th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that is free. This was arranged by our town clerk, Michelle Booth. Our recycle event, once again, is October 14th. That's pharmaceutical, shredding, electronics. I want to add that there is no longer a charge for televisions, and rabies clinic. And that's going to be held at the 101 Semmel Road at the Mendon-Honeoye Department. And let's see, Spray Park, of course, is back open. Unfortunately, we lost a good portion of the summer due to some of the difficulties with the seal that was put in by the contractor. It was scheduled to close Labor Day. The town board decided to keep it open in September. So we will keep it open in September. Obviously, weather is going to determine whether anybody's going to want to be at the spray park. So hopefully we get some good weather in September and we can utilize it a little longer than we anticipated. Let's see, the town clerk's office is going to open up one Saturday a month as a trial basis from 9 to 12. The first one will be September 16th. As we know, school's about to open, so I just want to make sure that everybody remembers to be aware of the children, the school buses, increased traffic around those times of the day when school opens and closes. And of course, that school tax bill that comes to property owners. If you're paying your school tax bill directly, you will, and you live in the town of Mendon, and you're either in the Pittsford Central School District or in the Honeoye Falls-Lima Central School District, you may pay your taxes at the town of Mendon offices. During regular business hours, there is a drop box on the Main Street side of the building near the entrance door. You may put your payment in there and we will mail you a receipt. Last but not least, the 2024 Mendon Town budget is, we're working on that, and that'll be presented to the town board at the town board meeting on September 11th. As always, all of our meetings are available in person. You can go online and Zoom if you want to participate, or you can go online and watch it on YouTube, which does not allow you to participate, but it does archive the meeting. So if you can't make it that night, you can always go to YouTube and watch the meeting afterwards and send me your comments. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, John. Thanks, Steve. And thank Mike, who had to leave early because he was in the middle of a job. Thank you all for watching. Remember, we're here every Sunday at 1 o'clock when this program is broadcast. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel or like our Facebook page, and you will be notified when the show starts airing. Otherwise, if you like to read, you can read the transcript in next week's paper, in this week's paper, I should say. And that's all I have. This has been a great technological snafu of a show, but we will see you all next week. Bye-bye for now.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.